Massachusetts is one of the oldest states in the nation. There's a lot of history here, and that comes with some old rules that are still on the books, even if they're not always enforced. Did you know that you need a permit to sport a goatee in public? Don't even think about remixing the Star Spangled Banner into dance music. And have you ever tried to buy alcohol on Thanksgiving? Multiple reports have found that many residents are leaving the state. That's not because they can't pick up a bottle of wine on their way to Grandma's Thanksgiving, but because they simply can't afford to live here. The cost of living crisis in Massachusetts has become a housing crisis, too. There aren't enough homes that enough people can afford. Lots of factors go into housing prices, and often overlooked is regulation, sometimes excessive regulation, that ultimately drives up the cost of housing. For decades, there's been a rule of thumb in construction. To reduce the danger from fires, a multifamily apartment building needs 2 stairwells. But additional stairwells require more space and more money. That's true in Massachusetts, where multifamily buildings with just 1 stairwell can only reach 3 stories, or 12 units. This is due to outdated building codes based on fire safety. A fire truck's ground ladder access is 3 stories, but fire safety has changed. Today, we have sprinklers and sophisticated smoke detectors, and a modern fire truck aerial apparatus reaches 75 feet. Around the world, many countries allow single stair housing to higher heights. Of course, fire safety is vital, but raising the limit to 4 stories is a no-brainer. In cities like Boston, buildings are connected to a centralized sewer system. If you venture out to more rural areas, some homes use their own septic systems to hold and process waste. Larger projects require larger septic systems. Town regulations and environmental considerations can limit the size and location of septic systems, but those regulations can vary wildly. Developers say many projects just don't move forward because they couldn't meet local rules and regulations. Local control is a cherished tradition. Yet a dearth of housing is a statewide problem, one that 100 different septic rules shouldn't stand in the way of solving. Massachusetts defines a high-rise building as one more than 70 feet tall, measured at the roof. Typically, this translates to 6 stories. At 7, the high-rise designation kicks in, triggering important safety requirements. These add-ons cost money, so builders are motivated to stay under the 70-foot threshold. That means fewer units that can be sold or rented, translating to less housing and less money to pay for the building. The International Building Code sets the threshold as 75 feet. Typically, this translates to 7 stories, with the high-rise requirements kicking in at 8. That's an extra floor of available housing. Sometimes 1 floor can make or break a project, so updating the high-rise threshold seems like basic common sense. Revising excessive regulations like these could lower the cost of housing construction over time, and lower building costs can mean more housing gets built in Massachusetts. What we needed when buildings were made of wood isn't the same as what we need in an era of sprinkler systems and fire-resistant materials. The need for regular review of regulations doesn't mean those rules didn't make sense when they were imposed. But times change.